Usman, how are you doing?
Very well, sir. How are you doing?
Great, great. So I want to know, what is your role at Algo?
I am currently working as Chief Innovation Officer at Algo. I work alongside the product management teams, and my core responsibility is to lead data science and data engineering teams. All initiatives, maybe they're across, working towards improving our solutions or to customer deployments. So primarily, my core role is to bring in that functional capability and bring in that data science and AI angle to the product.
How did you become interested in this field?
Um, I've been an operator myself, so throughout my career, I have worked in retail and supply chain, primarily in downstream supply chain. So as an operator, while I was, working in my career, we felt that we don't have these tools. So eventually, I changed my career from being an operator to become a business analyst, and then moved into business intelligence. And from there onwards, I actually got interested in doing something related to machine learning and data science. And that is where I got connected with Algo as well.
Was there something in particular that stood out about Algo?
Algo is primarily a firm that believes in, on top of the supply chain automation work and advanced analytics work that they do, we believe in human-centered AI. So that is the core of our existence. So primarily at Algo, we all believe that the machine learning activities that we perform or the AI part that we do in the machine for our forecasting, it's all machine generated, human curated. So, and that makes it more accurate and more robust compared to other outcomes that I've seen from certain solutions out there.
What's the difference between human-centered AI and then another type of AI?
Human-centered AI is primarily focusing on making sure that all the machine-generated outcomes have a human context to it. So we try and understand that we add on to the machine-generated outcomes in terms of the supply chain or data nuances that we see for certain verticals, any specific, data noise or data challenges that we see related to a specific seasonality. We try and address that and then focus on providing the customer with the high fidelity, high accuracy forecast for all the operations that they perform.
When customers come to Algo, generally, what are they lacking, or what's a large problem that they have that they come to you and they want you all to solve? Or what's a problem that they think they have, and then you look at their data and you realize, actually, you thought your problem was A, it's actually C, D, and E.
Yeah, 90% of the customers that we see, that we come across every day, the core requirement is digital transformation. Transforming from where they are today and trying to redo certain processes that they do currently manually or semi-automatically and then try and digitally transform them where they are to a new state. So Algo plays a core role in the major digital transformation of those customers. And everything that we do, I think at the heart of it, at the beat of it, is digital transformation. So from demand planning, allocation planning, all the merchandising planning solutions that we have, the advanced analytics suite that we have, at the heart of it, we focus on digital transformation because that is where we believe that we bring in high results and high fidelity of forecast.
What sort of transformation? You mentioned a word. What kind of transformation?
All sorts. I mean, a lot of firms that we work with, they come in with the requirements of transforming their current business processes. For certain companies that they want to, bring in certain intelligence or experience at the core of their business and try and leverage any digital services that we offer to build, something which is there to serve their customer in a better manner. And a lot of those solutions that we build are focused on repetitive tasks, which are primarily done by humans. So there are two kinds of digital transformations, what we talk about normally at Algo. One is the transforming the core of the business, making sure that we leverage the technology to make it better, faster, cheaper, more effective. And the other one is, bringing in new innovation to a specific process. For example, if you are currently segmenting your customer in a specific way, we bring in a new way of segmenting the customer. So again, we get these, all the problem statements that we get, we classify them into two core areas. One is where companies want to transform their current business operations and have deeper, better understanding and visibility into their operations at a higher frequency. And there are certain types of problems that we classify them as, building something new, making sure that the current operations that they're performing are scaled to a specific level where they bring in efficiencies to those processes.
Can you give me an example of how you changed the customer segmentation, and what were the results of that?
Primarily we use machine learning to run our customer segmentation. A lot of regression-based methodologies goes into this, but primarily our core focus has been in retail to provide some visibility into the customer segments and the way they interact with you. And in a lot of the cases, the customers that we get at retail, they don't leave an active data behind. So what we normally have is a customer ID in certain forms, and most of the cases, because people don't know what kind of who was behind that customer ID. Was it from demographics and sociographics perspective? So from psychographic perspective. So what we normally have is an ID, and we want to transform and bring life to that data set in terms of what was the latency of between the two visits of that customer, looking at that customer ID repeating at different point of sale. What is the recency of that customer ID visit? What was the frequency, let's say in the last given 7 months or 6 months period? How much monetary spend he has done? What was the customer lifetime value? And how much gross margin lifetime value, gross margin, we have generated from that customer. So using all these, variables, using that customer ID to drive certain variables from that, and identifying, all those attributes such as latency, recency, frequency, and monetary, to classify them into segments, identifying their behaviors in terms of seasonality, promotions, how, what kind of, stores do they want to go to? What is their behavior by channel? How much shopping that they do online versus, on ground, on physical stores. So all these elements come into play, and then we normally provide all the business analytics with an additional lens of these customer segments, so that they're able to look into their business with an additional bifurcation and detail into what kind of segments their business is serving, and how do they want to improve upon the assortment that they have on stores to serve those customers.
What's the role for AI in the future of supply chains? And how do you see it evolving?
Currently, at this point in time, I think it's there's a lot of transformation going on. Currently, a lot of people are using AI as it's mimicking human behavior at this point in time. The brain behind AI is machine learning primarily. So once you have those that forecasting in place, once you have the segmentation and clustering in place, the AI plays a very good, intelligent role in providing the human context. So like natural language processing or natural language query, the way you ask your solution or software a question, and how the software understands that question, and then provides you with certain analytics. That is where I think the AI is currently playing a big role at this point in time. But going forward, AI is evolving into certain areas where a lot of supply chain decisions, a lot of transformation decisions will be based on this machine learning and AI.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you setting aside some time for this.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time, and you're always welcome.